Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of StarcraftInc. Today I'm bringing you an SSN game, but this one's special. This is SSNrevolve, formerly known as SSNeurosmy. However, Eurosmy is going to be his achievement count, whereas SSNrevolve was supposed to be his Smurf account, but has officially become his 1v1 laddering account. He is now ranked 9 in the Master League, and almost got himself to Grandmaster, man. He's so close. So wish him luck. Let's see him play against the pros sometime soon. Right now, he is playing against Dignitaskiller, which he was ranked. He had 3,900 points in the Master League last season before the reset. This season he is not placed yet, but he is Select's practice partner. So if you guys know who Select is, you guys know that Select is damn freaking good, and this is Select's practice partner. This match is part of the ESL qualifier. This is round 3, I believe, so SSNrevolve has already won 3 games in the tournament, and he is now facing Dignitaskiller. So if you guys recognize that name, that is why. He is a very talented player. This is a Zerg versus Zerg, and let's just see this game underway. Right now, obviously early in the game, not much going on, but this is a huge map. Long rush distances, so this fast expand that SSNrevolve is going for is a very safe thing. Dignitaskiller is going for the same exact play, but how often does Zerg versus Zerg turn into something like that? Quite often. But forgive me if you don't like mirror matches. It's funny because the last game I cast with SSNeurosmy was actually a Zerg versus Zerg as well. Eurosmy actually is playing random. He plays random on the ladder now, and so you guys will get to see him playing all sorts of races. I'll cast more games of him in the future, but you've really got to watch for this guy, man. He is one talented player. Taking a look at the APM, this is one of his trademarks. He has such a ridiculously high APM. Actually, Dignitas is out APMing him, which is funny. I've never seen anyone do that before. But with an average of 220, which he maintains throughout the game, it's not just the start that he bursts that at. He maintains that APM while he's playing the game, while he's doing everything there is to do, and just a really impressive player all around. His micro, his macro. God, I sound like I'm worshipping him, but I am. Anyway, Eurosmy, man. Revolve. It's going to be so hard for me not to call him Eurosmy anymore, but we got to learn him as who he has decided to become. He's growing up so fast. But look at this. Just both players kind of thinking like-minded with their overlords, meeting the middle of the map at roughly the same time, and it's kind of funny how they missed each other. Really curious. But 4-lings out for SSNrevolve, chasing down Dignitaskiller's probe drone. Harvester thingamabobberdoodle. That's what they're called now. Press Z. Press press D to make a harvester thingamabobberdoodle. And you can Google that. That's officially what they're called. It's right on the Blizzard website. Look it up. I dare you. Do it. So SSNrevolve coming in with 3-lings. He knows he can't do any damage. I mean, obviously there's 2-lings and a queen. Nothing's happening here. So he will pull out. And there's a sex joke in there, but it was too easy, so I won't dwell on it. And moving forward with the game, we do see speed from both players started at almost exactly the same time, although it looks like Eurosmy will finish a little bit sooner. However, we are seeing a Baneling nest from Killer. I'm just going to call him Killer. D-Killer, man. Alright, that sounds good to me. I don't think there's any units lost. There's 25 units. I guess a ling went down for... No, that's the music. God damn it. They changed that hotkey on me. I forgot about that. That makes me sad. There's an APM hotkey somewhere. There it is! Army supply. There we go. So both players with pretty similar worker supply. Army supply down to 2 as Dignitaskiller did just lose a ling. And I still can't find the tab I'm looking for. This is awful. This is awful. Anyway, going back to the game, both players with their speed upgrade now, and we are seeing SSNrevolve's lings being chased down by a pack of Dignitas, and they're going to try to do some pesky stuff. If they hide in the corner, oh, they're going to get some drone kills here. But no, the queen does ward those off. One drone did go down though. And these are being little assholes. They're just running around all over the place. But look at all the roaches from Revolve. Those came out of nowhere. And that is impressive macro. It is 7 minutes into the game. Off 2 bases. He's now in production mode off the bases that he has. Still making 5 more harvesters at the same time as producing 6 roaches. So the roach count has become quite drastic. And his opponent is going Ling Baneling, so he's going to have to pull roaches out of his ass. He's got 10 roaches on the way. Both players spewing out massive amounts of army, and SSNrevolve is just pushing across the map. He wants to make something happen. He wants to do some damage. He thinks that lings are all that's on the field. He probably assumes there are some roaches, scouting ahead with 1 roach to avoid any kind of big surround or disaster. An overlord at the top of the ramp scouts he's coming, but this is not a good engagement. No, he's not gonna get to the ramp. Oh no, he's trapped in the base by his opponent's roaches, and a little excess micro stopped him from getting the shots off he needed. He has managed to kill 3. He gets 2 roaches, I think. And let's go to units lost. That was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible for SSNrevolve. So not starting the game off very strong. But let's see if he can recover from this. I mean, it's not very detrimental. Roaches are a dime a dozen, but when it's ZVZ, roach count is very important. And I think some people neglect that. And a couple roaches makes all the difference, because when they break through that front door and they start killing drones, that's when the game starts getting a little bit iffy, because you need those larvae to build military. You can't be spending them on drones once you've hit the saturation you want. Yeah, because that's when production explodes. So he is taking his 3rd, SSNrevolve is, as well as Dignitaskiller, but it looks like Killers has started first, and it's not going to make a huge difference, but Killer is ahead in the roach count. Going to the army tab, as you can see, we have a bigger army from Killer, and so he'll be able to saturate his base safer than Eurosmite will be able to saturate his. Both players, look at this, the production tab is almost identical, except for, wow, we have an infestation pit already from D-Killer, and that's quite the jump. That technology is very key in a ZVZ match, and once the infestors hit the field, especially against roaches, that changes the game quite a bit. Roaches take bonus damage from fungal growth as they are armored, and thanks to I think was it the most recent patch? I believe it was, that fungal growth did get its bonus damage to armored units such as stalkers or roaches or siege tanks, etc., etc. We are seeing the pathogen glands for them already, and so he's going gung-ho into those infestors, but now Eurosmite is getting his own infestation pit, so we are back on even ground as soon as he can get that and start producing infestors. But his pathogen glands upgrade will be late, and that means that the fungal growth count will be much lower for Eurosmite due to a lack of energy on his infestors once they start hitting the field. Both players just clearing rocks all over the place to try to get good map control, try to get fluid movement throughout the map, because right now they're going speed roaches with infestors, and they're going to need all the mobility, all the chances for surrounds and flanks that they can get. Infestors, if you can pick them off, those are money kills, man. Especially, even if you lose a bunch of roaches trying, it's so easy to replace your army as Zerg. It's worth it to get the infestors, I'd say. But then again, I don't play Zerg, so maybe I'm talking out my ass. Just ignore me if that's what's happening. Just watch the pretty purple goo spread across the map and infect the world and kill the children and eat the babies. And this is a wonderful game we play. This is a fantastic. I can't even say that sarcastically, because it is the truth. This game is fantastic, and I'm gonna take it home with me, and we are gonna make sweet love. And I want to see that Overseer get sniped by a queen, to be honest. The queens are right there. Inject and go kill that Overseer. I guess it won't work because it can't chase it down. I do want to see Hydra come out. I don't know. I just like Hydra. I think Hydra are freaking badass, but I don't think we're going to see them for a while if they come out at all. Both players spitting out. Let's take a look at the army tab, actually. Ooh, that's the APM tab. Wow. So we've actually seen Eurosmy pull way ahead, and I like that. The Overseer has actually locked down this hatchery. I do like that a lot. You don't see that enough, to be honest. I really like that play. Little things like that go a long way. We still see that wicked high APM, 236 from Killer, 213 from Eurosmy or SSNrevolve. Back to the production tab. Lots more infestors. This is quite the standoff match. We do see some burrowed infestors, but Revolve spots them, and he will be able to kill them. Wow! Free infestors! They are stuck underground. They're going to get sniped by the roaches. A fungal growth may save them. However, roaches just springing into action, but he gets ambushed by D-Killer's roaches from the south. And now the fungal growth, the infestors are in good position to support these roaches. Now lots of roaches coming down for SSNrevolve, defending his aggressive fourth as he pushes up the ramp. A fungal growth does go down on Eurosmy's roaches, but fungal growth is waiting for D-Killer as they push down the ramp. I hope he's watching his infestors. He's not. A fungal growth goes down on D-Killer's units. Another fungal growth goes down on Revolve's. Oh, fungal growth everywhere, and it just melts the roaches and their armored carapaces. So many infestors for D-Killer. I don't know whose favor this fight is going to go in, but it doesn't look like we're seeing the same resupply for SSNrevolve, and D-Killer did have a massive concave. So this fight goes in favor of D-Killer. So once again, SSNrevolve is on the underside of a fight, and I don't know how he's going to pull himself out of this. Does he pull himself out of this at all? Lots of infestors here for D-Killer. D-Killer now crossing the map did take away that third from Revolve. Revolve is now behind in bases, but his resupply comes out. There are softened roaches here against fully healed roaches as they just popped. Fungal growth going... No fungal growth. We're seeing infested Terran as these infestors just popped, so they cannot fungal. However, there are not enough roaches here to deal with SSNrevolve's roaches, and he gets some free infestors as they try to retreat. However, there are a lot more roaches coming in here to resupply for D-Killer, and I'm not sure what SSNrevolve can do about it. He is going to burrow and heal up his roaches. I like that a lot. And do we even have burrow from... Yeah, we do have burrow from D-Killer. We are seeing tunneling claws coming from SSNrevolve, and that's a nice nifty little thing to be getting. We are seeing D-Killer on 5 bases though, and he's already got this one saturated due to a drone transfer. Lots of roaches coming down, flanking. Eurosmy does not see it coming, although he does have an Overseer here, so hopefully he can get his roaches into position. And more roaches down here. He will be able to two-prong SSNrevolve if he wants to. Lots of roaches from both players engaging on the high ground, but it looked like D-Killer got the first shot. However, D-Killer has no infestors. SSNrevolve actually ran one of his infestors headfirst into that roach crowd, and lots of lings. Looks like they're going for a run-by. More up here. They're going to get drone kills. They're going to get a queen kill. This is awful, and this engagement doesn't even look like it's going to go in Revolve's favor. Oh my goodness. Ling's getting so many free kills. These roaches coming out of the rally, but not even defending the hatcheries they're spawning from. A couple of them are pulled back to recover. The drones are trying to fight off the Lings by themselves. They do burrow. They should have done that a long time ago. SSNrevolve is being pushed back to his own base, but he is managing to hold it off. Fungal growth going down on these roaches. But SSNrevolve will try to pull out of there. No, they're going straight for that infestor, and now they're engaging roaches in the mid-ground. This is a multiple front battle, and he is attacking these burrowed roaches. There is an infestor here to support them, and no infestor for Revolve. Revolve is getting overwhelmed on the high ground. However, it looks like, wow, upgrades are in favor of D-Killer, which I thought they'd be in favor of Eurosmy, but they are not. 2 infested Terran do come out, and D-Killer pulls back. We did have a surround on D-Killer from Revolve, so that was working to his favor. And these infested Terran are actually going to be killing Overlords, which is just kind of funny to me. I don't think that's what they were intended for. And now more roaches pouring into the center from both players. They're trying to engage each other the best they can, but another fight is going in favor of D-Killer. This is painful to watch. No! So SSNrevolve looks like he's losing more ground. There is an infestor here, but I don't think SSNrevolve knows it's there. He does realize it now, and he pulls it back. That was an opportunity for Dkiller that he did miss. So, man, this is quite the action-packed game. It looks like Dkiller is going to be trying to take a 6th base. A huge fungal goes down on SSNrevolve's units, and he is losing ground on the ramp. Burrowing, but there is an Overseer here, so that was not a good choice. And it looks like he's going to lose everything on this ramp very one-sidedly. One Roach survives, and I don't think he'll ever want to come out of the hole he has dug for himself. And it looks like SSNrevolve did retake this expansion, but he will once again lose it to the Roach onslaught coming from Dkiller. Impressive macro from this player, and not really any mistakes thus far. A couple of getting ahead of himself moments where he did lose infestors, but was very much able to re-macro and replace those infestors. And now that he is taking his 6th, this shows you the scary macro capabilities of a very talented Zerg player. And these units will be pushing across the map. This type of ball right here, is good against every race, man. This is the do-it-all ball. He's got infestors for, you know, killing everything. You can kill Muta, you can kill Banshees, you can kill Vikings, you can kill everything with that. And now these are all going to push forward. Fungal growths going down on Revolve's units. They are out upgraded. These are 3/3 Roaches with infestors backing them. Harvesters being pulled off to try and do some damage, any damage possible. Roaches burrow and heal all the damage back, and this is where it ends. Ladies and gentlemen, I just cast a game where an SSN player lost, and I don't know how I feel about it, but he lost to a very talented player, so no hard feelings. I'm jumping the gun here, but yeah, there it goes. GG. So this is ESL, this is SSNrevolve, playing against Dignitaskiller, a ranked 3,900 point Master League, so he's pretty good, man. I'm SSN Incarnum, and you're watching StarcraftInc.